born in New York originally, in Harlem Hospital with my twin brother, and we were immediately taken away from her at birth. So we never got the chance to meet our biological mother. We were put in foster care. We were in foster care for a couple years, and then we ended up getting adopted by a family out in California. So they flew out. And then just like, tensions, kind of like got crazy like in the neighborhood, and like people were beefing, and we were getting older in our preteen years, and like it got bad. Like there was a lot of fights in the neighborhood and shit. There's a lot of fuck shit. Like at school, there was a lot of kind of race stuff at the time. It was like black folks and Mexican folks did not fuck with each other. But I just had to say, like, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, do the quiet work, do the thankless work, the shit that no one pats you on the back for, or tells you good job for, or comments on, or likes. Like, put in that work and do for others, serve people,
I know you don't know me yet, hoping you gon' learn today. Seen you from across the room, locked eyes and then we turned away. Had to come up to you, girl, I feel like this the only way. Come out with the realest, cause with me there ain't no lonely days. Baby, I could be your best friend, would you like that? Take you shopping in all the stores, like what's the price tag? Italy, New York, Jamaica, Panama, the flight path. Take you to the climax, if you want I might land. Sheesh, it's cold in Colorado, let me take you to the beach. Tryna see a swimsuit, sit up on that Georgia beach. Baby, you so fun, sometimes it's hard for me to speak. You the one I had to meet, no, we the hottest in the street.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod. Let me tell you a story. Today's story starts out with the tragic event of brothers being taken away from their mother and placed in a foster home in New York City. On the other side of the country, in California, there was a family looking to adopt but struggling to find the right adoption. Until one day, while watching Maury, they came across a segment asking for help with an adoption agency looking to adopt several children. These brothers were amongst those kids. After going through the process, this family would go from California to New York City to retrieve the brothers and bring them back to Ontario, California to join their family. This story is about one of those brothers. This brother, after being adopted, found happiness after living in the system and finding his forever home and forever family. After this, he grew up like a typical kid, fighting for the affection of his parents. He was a very bright kid, born with the gift of gab, using his mouth to get out of many sticky situations. He was always pushing his boundaries and testing his limits, not satisfied even though he had enough. An example of this is when he got in trouble at a young age, stealing sunglasses in the tellies with money in his pocket. He would go on through life testing these limits and pushing these boundaries. As he grew up and went to college, he was always freestyling with his friends until one day, while freestyling in the car, his friends told him, "You need to take this seriously. You need to record yourself." After taking that into consideration, one day at college, he heard beats playing very loudly. He went in to see what was going on and found a producer. This producer would help him with his first album. He would fall in love with music, and after trial and error, he would learn how to push these same boundaries in a positive way, building his addiction to positive accomplishments and musical creativity. He has become one of the hottest new rappers on the scene and is constantly updating his musical catalog. I'm glad to tell you that he stopped by the basement and sat down with me and told me about his life. He told me about his regrets, his accomplishments, and his outlook towards the future. Without further ado, let me introduce today's guest, DNA Picasso. All right, back at you with another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod, and I'm with you with my guest today, DNA Picasso.
What it do, bro? What it do? Thank you for having me. For real.
Yeah, thank you for coming, my brother. I'm glad you reached out.
Yeah, man. I saw you chopping it up with my boy Saya, and I was like, I like the conversation.
Shout out to Saya, Saya Rainin. Check out his new single, Supersonic. That shit is, I kept it on repeat.
Did you see the live version?
Yes. Yeah, that shit's hard.
That shit's super hard.
That shit's super hard.
Yeah,
so
bro.
Everybody make sure you go check that out. But yeah, you messaged me, and I get a lot of messages. People want to come and share their story.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. So I have to go through and just check people out. So I started looking at your stuff, and then I was like, oh, he's dope. He's dope, and you put a lot of work out there. So something that I really respect and like is people who grind and hustle.
Yeah.
I really respect the grind and the hustle.
I appreciate that, bro, for real.
That's one of the reasons why I was like, all right, I'll reach back out. Because like some people that reach out to me and then I look at you ain't posted in 2 years,
Or they got 6 posts on their page.
You got 2 posts. You know what I mean? Like I like grinders. I like people that are out there putting in that work and it making it is. I have a conversation coming up with the guy about that. I think it's mindset.
Yeah.
Like if you did music for 30 years or 40, 25 years, let's just say you don't make that Lil Wayne money, but let's just say you provide it for yourself for 20 years by doing music. That's making it.
Yeah.
That's making it. Because a lot of people don't get that.
And people will never make it if they're trying to be somebody else or have somebody else's version of success without understanding what, it took for them to go get that. Everybody needs to go get their own success
for sure
and make it in their own way.
Yeah.
You look at the next man and you think about making it like him, you losing already because you're not going to be that man.
You like Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, bro, I do.
My Way.
Yeah.
I did it my way. That's a dope song.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, y'all know how we do it here at C-Rod's Tell Me Your Story podcast. This is the People's Podcast. This is a platform where we come together and we share each other's stories so we can listen to each other and we realize, we're all pretty much the same. I know nowadays there's a lot of diversity and a lot of you're this, you're that, or whatever. But if you look past all of that, past people's color, religion, and where they're from, you'll see that the small things are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So that's why we came together. So we'll just jump right into this. So were you born in New York, or tell me about that? Where you from?
I was born in New York originally, in Harlem Hospital with my twin brother, and we were immediately taken away from her at birth. So we never got the chance to meet our biological mother. We were put in foster care. We were in foster care for a couple of years, and then we ended up getting adopted by a family out in California. So they flew out and got us. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Wait, were y'all adopted together?
We were adopted together.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Got lucky.
Super dope. Super lucky. Definitely like a package deal. I don't know if the adoption agency was like told people that we had to be a package deal or what, but yeah, man, we ended up getting adopted together. So
do you know anything about your mom or?
Actually, yeah, like when I met my partner 4 years ago, we were talking and having a deep conversation, like off rip, and I told her about my story, which I rarely tell anybody, especially people who don't ask. Like I rarely go out of my way to talk about, extra shit, especially if it's shit that I'm not like happy about, sad shit or whatever. I just, kind of keep it to myself. But we were having a great conversation, and in the conversation, she told me she was going to help me find my mom, bro. And a year later, we ended up finding her.
Wow.
So yeah, like it's been like about 3 years now since I met my biological mom.
Yeah, I might be jumping, but tell me about it. I got to know.
Yeah.
How did y'all find her?
We found her because, can you bleep out names when I say?
Yeah, or you can. Yeah, I can bleep out names.
Okay, for sure. My wife's homegirl ended up helping us find her via like the back end, like on some like Medicaid shit. Really wasn't even supposed to be on that, but like we had resources and people helping us, and but like even before that, I was doing a lot of recon. I requested some documentation from the agencies, different medical records and like non-identifying stuff, because they wouldn't send me anything that had information on like who my parents were or like any of that stuff. So it was like heavily redacted documents. Like they were blacking out a lot of stuff. But we ended up like making out certain things because they redacted it in a goofy way with like actual Sharpie. So I took out my phone, I threw the light under it, and I was over here trying to like squint and read and see some shit that like really, it was like a trail of breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
That like led us to the point where we knew that we had enough information. And when it got to the point where my wife's homegirl helped us out, yeah, bro, she told us where she was at. She looked up her record and found that she was in this adult home out in New York, and we got on a plane and we went and we met her.
Yeah, did you like? So she was in an adult home. So she was disabled.
She's disabled. She has mental illnesses. She's got schizophrenia, and then just like dealt with substance abuse like a lot of her life, which is one of the reasons why we were taken away from her.
No, I understand. Yeah,
because she has some stuff in her system, and they found it in there, and we got snatched away, put in foster care. And she was I don't really know what she was on until she got to this home, but she's been in this home for years. I feel like I'm blanking out on how long she's been there, but I think it's like anywhere between like 12 and like 15 years.
Oh wow!
It might even be on like some 20-year shit. Like,
what about her family? Did you meet them?
So I actually met my uncles before I met her because I took an ancestry DNA test.
Oh.
And so the original breadcrumb was the fact that my parents kept our original birth certificate once we got adopted. So it had my biological name on it. It had my mother's name on it. It had her age on it, the hospital I was born at, like all that information. And then for my birthday, I think it was like my 25th or 24th birthday, my dad and my stepmom got me an ancestry DNA test, and I took the test. I was like all anxious and shit. It took me like a couple weeks, I think like damn near like almost 2 months, something like that, for the results to come back to me. They came back, and I instantly just saw some family. It wasn't any close family either. It was like I was looking for Fine Later because that's my biological last name is Fine Later, and I was looking for folks on that platform who shared that last name, and I found some folks. I started messaging some people. One of the folks that I ended up connecting with is like my biological mom's cousin, but she had a search angel running her account, and so me and the search angel were talking back and forth about my mom, and she was just like going back to my relative and like, you know, asking her questions. And I found out about my mother's brothers, my uncles. One of their names is Denver, another is Mikey. But it's just kind of crazy how like all this shit happened, bro. And I ended up finding them, getting on the phone with them. They didn't know where she was. They hadn't seen her in forever. Like a lot of my uncles was in and out of jail, like prison, for a long time. And like, you know, during that time, like, they didn't know where their sister was. You know, she was outside. You know, she was under the influence, kind of. You know, this is like the '90s in New York.
Oh, crack and all that.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, and so, she was lost, to say the least.
Yeah, that shit ravaged.
Yeah, and so we found her. We found her for not just me, but for everybody.
Were you nervous flying out there, knowing that she's dealing with all these mental issues?
Yeah, but I felt like I instantly went in there with like super low expectations, no expectation of like her even being happy that I'm standing in front of her, or even being able to communicate with me. In fact, before I met her, I hopped on a Zoom call with her because one of the doctors that works with her in that facility ended up hopping on a Zoom call and setting it up with us. And so I kind of knew what the vibe was. Like, she's definitely like damaged from the drugs, from the schizophrenia medicine that she's taking now. Yeah. Like, this shit has her like, she like a vegetable almost, damn near. So like, she don't really ask questions and shit like that. Like, she was responding to some stuff, but like, I kind of got the gist of like, you know,
what was going to happen.
Well, not necessarily what was going to happen, but just like who she was and like how she was going to communicate when I did see her in person and meet her.
Is that how it was?
Yeah. But she was definitely happy. Yeah, she was definitely happy. I know it's probably hard to like for her to show it, especially like when she get those meds in you. Yeah. You know, you taking antidepressants and you taking shit to combat certain things.
Combat your emotions.
Yeah, man, for real. Yeah. Like, it truly does regulate all of that. So, she was happy. We went and we talked. It was me, my wife was with me, and my uncles, they were with me too. Yeah, so it was my first time meeting them as well. Yeah, and they're all from Jamaica. Oh, so yeah, my family's from Jamaica. They were immigrants.
Did you have dreads already?
No, when
you went to meet her?
Yeah.
We had to dress. So you're like naturally Jamaican.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I did. I did.
That's
but
crazy.
they were longer. I actually just cut my hair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, all Jamaican, bro, and thick accents. Like they're all immigrants. They all traveled to America in childhood.
Yeah.
I haven't met my biological father yet, but I know that he's Jamaican. And so I don't know if he was an immigrant, but yeah.
When you did your DNA, it came out like you knew you were Jamaican because it came out Jamaican, right? Or was it come out Caribbean?
Well, I mean, look, it traces like your original roots.
Oh, I see.
But
so
in there,
Africa
it also talks about Jamaica did pop up because on Ancestry.com, it'll pull up like the what am I trying to say? Like migration patterns and track like where your ancestors came from. So I have like my ancestors were originally from Nigeria and like different parts of Africa, Ghana, and then they traveled to Jamaica and then ended up traveling to America, to the South. And some of them traveled to the South on my dad's side or dad and mom's side, and some of them traveled to New York, and they kind of spread everywhere.
What did it feel like meeting your? So like, I actually know what it feels like not knowing a parent.
Really?
And oh yeah, all the time. I didn't meet my father. Well, he passed away. I never met him, but I didn't meet his family until I was almost 40 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
So I know what it's like to wonder. Like as a kid, I would tell my mother, "What's my dad look like? What is his family like?" I was so curious, and I had a stepdad, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like you want to know your dad.
Yeah.
And I know the closure that I felt when I met them and I got to see him. What did it feel like for you? Did you feel like you found something, or did you feel like it helped you like see your curiosity? Or
yeah, for sure, it definitely helped me realize that I have roots outside of being a lost kid, like in the world. Like it's different. Because we were taken away from our mother at birth, we didn't know who our father was. We still don't. I've never met him still to this day. Don't even know who this man is. And so it was different because when you are born and you go until you're age 5 or age 6 without a family, you just want to be loved by anybody who's willing to give you love.
Was that how old you were when I
got adopted?
Oh, I thought you were a baby.
Nah, so I was in foster care for about 5 years.
Do you remember?
Coming up on my 6th birthday. I remember like the shit vaguely, bro, and it's really only like bad moments.
Might be a good thing, yeah.
But I do think that early childhood development,
serious
shapes like that conditioning is serious, and it's like should be taken serious too, because that kind of shit really can shape how you end up.
No, I agree.
I
agree. Yeah.
So to answer your question, it was weird. I never really had to like what they look like. I mean, I did. I never asked that question because I wasn't gonna get an answer because they didn't know or they didn't want to tell me. I'm leaning on they didn't know because
you were adopted. It's a little different.
Because I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But it definitely, to answer your question, I definitely feel like I found a piece of me.
Yeah, for sure.
Found my roots. Like I got like my lineage is like, from Jamaica. Like I can point to where, my grandmother is buried in Jamaica, where my grandfather is buried in New York, and like now like locate my uncles and stuff. And I also have a little brother that we were separated from when we got at the time of that we got adopted. We were never with him in these foster homes, but the day we got adopted, my parents who adopted me took a picture of the three of us, and that was the last time we saw. I'm pretty sure the first and last time we saw our little brother. But through Ancestry DNA, he popped up on there. And so we linked a year after I found my mother. I found my little brother.
Oh wow!
And he flew out to Denver on me and my twin brother's birthday, and I threw a little party downtown, and he pulled up, and it was just cool, bro.
Was it all three of y'all?
It was all three of us.
Oh, bro, that's awesome.
Yeah, bro. It was all 3 of us. It was really cool, man. Like, and
What
that
a
kind of
great
shit,
moment.
like, and this is like life shit, bro. And like, to be honest with you, like, I spend a lot of my time, a lot of my life, like, making things happen, hustling, grinding, trying to achieve, you know, things and like success, or like level up my craft, get better, you know, hopefully be the best, hopefully be revered, talked about, you know. But all that was like nothing compared to like finding like my roots, and like
Yeah, I get
that's
it.
human shit. Like that's like
Yeah,
everything, you know.
I understand completely.
And so I'm trying to like do right, not only by like myself, but like by my family. And I want to do everything I can to put myself in a position to be able to really provide, because in my adopted family, me and my twin brother are the youngest kids, but in my biological family, I'm the oldest child.
Oh, I see. I see.
And so like I was living my life like the little brother, you know.
He was really the big brother.
I was really big, bro.
You didn't know.
Nah. And so I don't know, it's like a life switch, bro. But like I feel like I have the I had the bandwidth to like just withstand like whatever that shit comes with going into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like sometimes, well, for myself, like when I went and visited my aunt,
Yeah.
just hanging out with her, you know, we're talking, and
This is the first day.
first time I ever seen her,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, kind of look like my aunt. Like I see my side of like, oh, that's the side
Mm-hmm.
of my family
Yeah.
that, you know, she's showing me pictures of my family, and I'm like, damn, I look like these, like I look like all these people. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow. Because like growing up was really tough. Like for myself, you know, I would like wonder and guess, and I never knew. And
And it wasn't until 2 years ago.
see, I'm 42, so I was probably like 37, probably 37.
When you met your aunt.
Yeah, when I met her on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but I'll tell you, I did DNA like you.
Word. Through Ancestry or 23andMe or what?
Ancestry.
Okay.
And here, on a side note, something funny. I am mostly Nigerian.
Word.
We're both Nigerian.
Let's go.
That's funny though. I said, shit says I'm Nigerian. My wife's like, that shit, what the shit wrong. But anyways, just like you, and a bunch of hits came up. They were really close hits though.
They were?
Yeah, like one was like really. It was my aunt, one, and first cousins.
You find any siblings?
Later, but
Wow.
so I did that, and then I text one of them. I found one of them had a account profile. I messaged them, and I was just like, "Yo, I never knew my dad. I just hit. Maybe we're related. I don't know. Maybe you could reach back out to me." And I left my number, and within like 20 minutes, I got a call, and I answered the phone, and it was my aunt, and she said, I said, hello, and it really made me feel good what she said. She said,
You sound.
I've been waiting to hear your voice, this voice, for 20 years.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And I was like, well, who is this? You know, and she's like, I'm your aunt, and I was been looking for you, and I looked for you, and
Wow.
I gave up like 20 years ago. You know, I'm getting old already, you know. And I was like, wow. And I was like, is my dad around? And she was like, he died. He died a long, long time ago in the 90s.
Damn.
And that kind of hurt. You wouldn't think that it would bother me, but it bothered me when I found it. Like, yeah, it really bothered me. But so she told me that, and then I was like, well, send me a picture. And that was the first time, like you, that I seen my dad, and my whole life. And growing up, I would tell my mom, you know, like I said, what does my dad look like? And she would always reply the same thing: go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. That's what she would always say. Go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. And I would say, like, what the hell does that mean? I would always think to myself, like, what does that mean? I would even ask them stuff like, what race am I?
Mm-hmm.
What race am I? Like, that's something, like when you're biracial, you're like, I don't even know what race I was.
Yeah.
And they would tell me, you're everything.
Yeah.
You're everything.
When you looked at that picture, did you feel like you were looking in the mirror when your mama had told you all those times?
So when I looked at that picture, I instantly knew what she meant.
Yeah.
She was telling me right.
Yeah. She wasn't just saying that.
She wasn't just saying it.
Yeah.
I'm a splitting image of him.
Wow.
When I met my aunt, so then later on I flew to Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And I met my aunt. When she opened the door, she just started bawling, crying. Because she said it was like seeing her brother all over again. So that was my experience. So it's kind of like yours.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to the beginning of the podcast. And we just started. But see how already we have similar stories?
Yeah, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. And it's also crazy when you don't talk about this with anybody.
You don't know.
And they don't know
And
that there's someone like them or somebody who shares similarities,
Yeah.
It's funny you were talking about getting a picture sent to you from your aunt.
Yeah.
I got a picture sent to me of my mom from her cousin. And, man.
Were you like...
It was crazy. I was just so happy to just see what she used to
look like her?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll show you my dad, bro.
Yeah.
You're going to be like... So the picture she sent me was him as a teenager. And I don't know, maybe young man.
Mm-hmm.
But it was in the 60s. And so seeing the picture was like seeing myself in the 60s. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh shit, that's what I would look like.
Yeah.
In the 60s profile. But with that being said, what about your adopted parents? While I looked this up, what are your adopted parents like?
They are loving, for sure. I mean, knowing that they literally went out of their way to go. Well, first off, how they tell it is that they prayed for twins. They wanted to adopt kids.
And twins?
And they prayed for twins. And there were no twins up for adoption in America until one day, Maury Povich did a special segment on basically addressing America, asking them to adopt these kids out of New York. And me and my brother.
That was y'all?
We were right there.
Yeah, your shit's way crazier than mine, though. So they were praying for twins, and then they turn on TV, and there's Maury Povich.
Yep. Asking America to adopt these kids. And it wasn't just me and my brother. It was me and my brother and different kids from HeartShare St. Vincent Services. I think at the time it was just called St. Vincent Services. And it was older kids, younger kids. Like, we were 5 at the time. And we were on the Maury Povich show, matching twins. Couldn't even tell us apart. Yeah.
And so what, they got a hold of Maury Povich?
So, they actually... flew out and they contacted the agency because I think they gave some contact information, like if you're interested in adopting kids, call this number. And so they ended up calling the number, setting up an interview, flew out to New York, came and did a visit with us. But during that visit, technically, parents are supposed to get vetted. They're supposed to have like people go into their house and like make sure everything's cool and safe.
Yeah, make sure it's okay.
But we were in such a fucked up situation at the time that the social worker basically gave them our luggage and said, take them, type shit.
Wow. And it just so happened they were good people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then you moved to California?
Moved to Ontario, California, in the Inland Empire, in Southern California. And then, started a whole new life out there. Came into a family with siblings. So it was me and my twin brother, but we had 2 older sisters and an older brother.
Yeah.
Older brother by 7 years, oldest sister by 5, and then the next older sister by 3 years.
Do you remember? Like, I know you were 5, so was it vague, or do you remember moving them and them come getting you?
Well, they actually came. My siblings actually came to New York Actually, hold on. We had to go back to New York a year or 2 years later to finalize the adoption with the judge and all this. And so on that trip, I think they came out. I'm a little. It's a little vague right now. They might have came on that first trip, but I think they came on this second trip. I have to ask again. But yeah, we moved in there and it was cool. I don't remember much. I remember kind of things that I was told about the situation, and like, you know, we're 5 years old. We're just, you know, happy to have a home and a potentially forever home, because like at that time we had bounced around, I think 2 or 3 foster homes.
Oh.
And so like, you know,
Like this one's gonna be forever.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Wow.
And like they had I don't remember it, but I know they had like a party, like a welcome home party, and like all my new relatives, all my new family.
How did they treat you?
They treated me. I don't know how to. It's hard for me to answer that question. Like I felt like I was definitely pushed to be great. I definitely was like, cared for, like. And
did you feel adopted, or did you feel like this is my family?
Both at times. You know,
Explain.
most of the time though, it was it's my family, it's my sister, it's my brother, it's my mom, it's my dad, it's my grandma. Like even to this day, like that's still what it is. You know.
Yeah.
Because they did something that they didn't have to do.
Yeah.
You know. And I felt like we were cared for. I felt like, you know, kind of like, you know, the basic things, you know, making sure we got a roof over our head, we got clothes on our back, you know, we got a good education. You know, they cared about us being smart, us being, you know, proud of like the family that we're from, and like and all that good stuff too. But I think at times I felt like you know, I'm adopted. I'm like, y'all got y'all thing going on. Like, even though I'm here too, like, I know that, like, or I felt like at any time y'all could flip the switch and like send me back, or put me back in hell, or like.
But
put
they
me
wouldn't
back
do
in
that,
it.
right?
No, I mean they didn't do that.
They did. They wouldn't do that though.
Yeah.
Sounds like that may have been part of growing up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Just growing up, and you know, I definitely was somebody who like acted out for attention, you know, and like got myself into a lot of trouble.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you go to California, you're with your adopted family, you got siblings now, start going to school. What was that like? What kind of person were you in school? So you were a troublemaker?
Definitely. I think early on, I was definitely just like eager to be again in like a loving household. But again, we're 5. We're like in kindergarten, so like we're in school. We're like playing and like stuff like that. I felt like me and my brother at times, looking back on it now, maybe we were like kind of fighting for attention. Because like it's not just us, but there's 3 other kids, and then our parents who work and
that's normal.
do all that shit, you know.
Yeah, that's normal
You know,
stuff.
you know. And so I felt like we was, you know, kind of fighting over attention and all that. And I think going like kind of fast forward to like the 3rd grade, that was a hard year because remember that was the last time me and my brother were in the same class ever.
Oh, they separated you.
Yeah, they held my brother back.
Oh, I see.
My brother got held back a year, and to my knowledge, it wasn't like a requirement by the school. They could have passed him, but they felt like he was kind of behind where I was, and so they held him back. But looking back on it now, I think that was like I don't want to even say a fucked up thing to do, because like, you know, I wasn't parenting me and my brother when we were in 3rd grade. You know, I didn't know, but at the end of the day, like to have twins, like yes, I know academically you want people to be on a certain level, but socially,
Yeah, I hear you.
that definitely, I'm not gonna say
They
it
didn't have
fucked us
to.
up.
They just did it.
Yeah, because they felt like you needed a little bit more time or whatever, and I was like, whatever it is. But I think socially, it definitely had a huge impact for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, no, I could agree with that.
Yeah. And so, so, you know, that happened, and, you know, I don't know, bro, it was just a lot. We were, you know, like growing up, it seemed like we were living like a normal childhood, bro. Like it seemed as normal as it could be, like way more normal than what I was going through, you know.
What part of Cali was? You said Empire?
It was Ontario, California.
Ontario. So where's that? Like by LA?
It was in the Inland Empire, so it's north of LA. But it's pretty close.
Yeah, what's it like
an
out
hour.
there?
In the IE, it's beautiful. Palm trees, sunny days. California gets windy. No, but I think like in Ontario when we first moved, I forget, we were in this place called Brookside, and it was cool because like it was a very diverse place. Like we had the white folks across the street, we had some black folks down the neighborhood, we had the Mexican homies up the street.
Yeah,
and like it was just like diverse neighborhood shit, bro. Yeah. Like just living with different races and shit. Neighborhood shit with the Asians up the street. Like it was just. Did
y'all run the streets
California,
or were y'all
like
in the
neighborhood
house?
shit? I mean, at that time we were young, we were little. So
I mean, when you got to, let's say, start getting it around 13, 14.
Oh, 13, 14, we were living in. So on our first Brookside, it was pretty diverse. But when we moved to a different place in Ontario, it was cool. It was pretty diverse too. I was starting to get in a little trouble. I was doing shit like stealing, like everything. I was stealing everything. I was stealing from my fucking mom, my dad, my brothers. I was stealing money. I was stealing video games. I was stealing shit to go buy video games.
Why?
And it wasn't because I don't know. I just feel like I wanted it. It's not even that. It's funny because I had this conversation with somebody about stealing, and the person who I was talking to was like, I had everything I ever could want. Like I didn't take that shit because I wanted it. I took it because I wanted to see if they would notice, or if I could fuck with that person. That's not why I did that. I did it because it was all self-serving. I just wanted this thing that I didn't have, and someone else had it, and so I just took it because that's how other people take shit.
Did you ever get caught?
Yeah, hell yeah, I got caught all the time. I got caught all the time. Yeah. Especially when I was a young kid, like we were doing stupid shit. Like I was stealing from neighbors and shit. One of the neighbors, it was an Indian family that owned a 7-Eleven up the street, and so they would get big ass shipments back in the day before, like, this is way before fucking the Uber Eats, and you can't get shit like that. But they just had big trucks just dropping off like hella groceries to the crib that they were gonna take up to the 7-Eleven, and we would know what day the folks were gonna come. It's just like groceries, like food and shit. But like we would run in their backyard and just take their shit. And one time I got caught and like they called the cops to my crib. I ran away. I was hiding. Came back. God. They were trying to put me in jail as a kid for stealing. I was still from the store. And then when I got older, like I was still kind of doing that shit, and, like stealing from like the store, like clothes. If I feel like I didn't have, like, especially when I moved out. I'm sorry, I'm kind of skipping around a lot. After we were like in the second neighborhood in Ontario, at that time, I got into like skateboarding. That was like my shit. I got my skateboard in the back of my car right now type shit. Wow. But like I was skateboarding, I got really serious into that, and it was cool. It was different to be, and I think I really, like, hindsight, I feel like skateboarding kept me out of a lot of trouble in those super early years. Because there was people who weren't doing that kind of shit, who were, and like we knew them, they were our neighbors, but like, they was slanging, they was doing shit, they was gangbanging, they was thugging, they was doing whatever they was doing to get what they needed to go get. They was pimping, and but like I didn't know that that's what it was back in the day.
He was out
like
skateboarding.
I was a kid skating, bro, like skating with the homies, knocking on their door, trying to go play video games, swimming, and like just doing like kid shit. And then just like tensions, kind of like got crazy like in the neighborhood, and like people were beefing, and we were getting older in our teen, like preteen years, and like it got bad. Like there was a lot of fights in the neighborhood and shit. There's a lot of fuck shit. Like at school, there was a lot of kind of race stuff at the time. It was like black folks and Mexican folks did not fuck with each other, and even the folks that did fuck with each other felt like they had to choose sides often, and there was just a lot of like little gang wars going on, race wars going on, to be honest with you. And like from the elementary school to the middle school to the high school level, and like you got two kids fighting in middle school because their older brothers is beefing and they on opposite gangs, and like just like little shit going on. And at the time, I was trying to stay as far away from that shit as I possibly could, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we just like this. I wanted my life to be normal. I wanted to be. I didn't want to ever go to jail. I didn't want to ever end up getting shot or stabbed like some of the niggas in the neighborhood. I didn't never want to. I don't know, bro. Just like have people not fuck with me, not like me. I was definitely someone who wanted people to like who I was as a person.
No, I get you. You didn't want a bunch of conflict and
nah,
shit.
bro, because there's conflict everywhere all the time. I'm getting in conflict and I don't even have no beef.
Wow.
Like
it's always out there.
It's always out there.
Yeah.
But like, your homie got beef and they trying to jump him. So what you gonna do? You might not have no beef. One of the dudes who's jumping your homie might be your man's, bro.
Yeah.
But like
the way you keep away out of that stuff is you just keep with your family.
Stay focused. But I feel like at the time we were all like, dad was working, mom was going to school, trying to do her thing, and then our siblings were in different grades. Our older brother was like, we was in middle school. He was out of high school type shit. Sisters was in high school. We didn't even go to the same high schools as them. They went to different high schools on the other side of the city. We went to the high schools by our crib, and it was just like, I don't know, bro. It was a lot, but I did all I can to stay out of trouble. It didn't work. It did work, but it didn't work.
Did you get it? So I know you mentioned stealing from the Indian people. Did you ever get arrested growing up?
I did.
Multiple times, or
the first time I got arrested, I stole from a Tilly's.
Oh, okay.
In California.
So you're pretty young. How old are you?
At the mall. 29.
Okay,
I just turned 29 this year.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I stole from a Tilly's when I was like 12 or some shit like that.
What happened?
13. I actually went in there with some money, bro, and we bought, and I had money in my pocket when I stole too. It's goofy shit. Like it was so goofy. But we went in there and I had just fucked up a little check. I don't know what it was, like birthday money or like some sort of like, I don't know why I got money or how I got money, but I got money from like my folks or something. So we went to go shop. I was buying like pants and shirts and stuff like that. And then I think I might have bought some skateboard stuff. I might have bought like grip tape or something like that. But my brother was taking forever to like finish his order. And so like I was like already done shopping. I already paid. I walked out. But then I walked back in and I was like, damn, man, like this was taking forever. I was like walking around the store just like looking for shit to like maybe buy again. But then I saw these glasses, just a pair of sunglasses like these. And I was like, I want that, but I don't fucking want to pay for it. So I ripped the tag off. I threw that shit on the floor. I put that shit in my bag. And I was just waiting for my brother at the front. And then right before he was done with his order or like checking out, they were like, hey, yo, there's a tag right here. What's this from? And they're making a big ass commotion, bro, to security. Like, yo, somebody ripped this tag off, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like sitting there trying to act normal and shit. Then they get to checking everybody back. They don't check everybody back. They check the black kids' bags.
Of course.
Of course. So they checked my bag. They seen it in there. There was a security guard and a cop nearby already. And they threw me on the ground, pointing guns at my face.
Oh, wow.
Some sunglasses.
Damn.
It didn't really go back beyond that. I was like, I was stuck, bro. I was on the ground, just like laying there.
Shoot me.
They picked me up. I didn't even say that shit. I was just quiet, bro. Like, I'm not gonna move at all. They picked me up, put me in the back of the cop car. It took me to jail. They actually took my brother to jail too.
Oh.
They didn't cuff him though, but he was able to like wait. Oh my God, I'm blurring this shit out. I'm gonna have to ask him, bro. Were you in that cell with me? I don't think he was though. I think it was just me, and they let him wait until our parents came.
My parents came. Did they make you stay the night, or you got out?
No. We were kids.
Did they do to you probation or?
I got community service. I was a kid selling some fucking $10 sunglasses. They gave me like 30 hours or some shit like that of community service, and I served that shit at like a Goodwill or something like that. Like some super.
And then you went and stole again.
Bro, so many times in my life just to get what I wanted, bro. I felt like there was like, and this is the thing that I feel like if I could protect the younger me or a young kid in the future, it's like, don't covet what other people have, bro. Like you might see somebody with the freshest J's, but you don't know what their situation is. You don't know how they got that.
Yeah.
And just because they got it doesn't mean that you need it or you deserve it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, like, damn, they got all this fresh shit. Like, I couldn't even get no name brand shit, and like, I need some name brand shit, bro. Like, I'm gonna go get it. Like, at the end of the day, like when you're a kid, you don't understand the concept of money. You don't understand like why your parents can't buy you Jordans.
Yeah, I get it. You just want them.
You just want them, and they tell you no, and they give you the K-Swiss, and you like, what the fuck? I'm getting clowned at school, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So I could tell you this from I never stole a lot, but I do know what it's like to make easy and quick money.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, I mean, I was in and out of jail and stuff, but like all the way up till I got a certain age, you know, that's how I fuck a job, you know.
Yeah.
I hustled.
Yeah.
When I decided to change my life, change everything.
Yeah.
My friends, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I started working, and then, you know, I'm old. I think I was making $5.25 an hour or something. And I made my first check maybe $150, $200. And I respected that $200. And I can remember going to, like, when I hustled, for example, me and my wife would go out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the pancakes. I have 10 plates here. I eat like a bite from each plate and I walk out. When I worked for my money, like worked for it, I earned it. I know I earned that money. I respected that money so much more.
Damn right.
Like I just wouldn't go and give it away.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Like I remember seeing it, and I remember having that exact thought in my head. Like when I was spending money, like I would just waste money. And like I have way more respect for this money now.
Yeah. That's funny because that's where I'm at right now in my life.
Is it?
Because I know exactly what you mean, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if I articulated it good enough. But
no, you did, bro.
Yeah.
You absolutely did.
That's how I feel.
Because, like, you know, from a young age, it started with, like, stealing to get what I wanted. But then when I had the opportunity, and this is, like, I'm still a kid, bro. Like, I'm still a child in this. Like, I haven't even moved away from Ontario yet.
Yeah.
We moved to Miraloma. So it was, like, Miraloma / Corona. And, like, that city was, like, 90% Hispanic. My middle school and my high school was like over the 90 percentile, like
no
Hispanic.
Black people.
Barely any, bro.
Wow.
And so we was getting terrorized, my guy.
Yeah.
No cap.
Yeah.
No cap. And so the ones, you know, there was enough, but like there wasn't a whole lot, bro. So shit got wicked for a little bit out there.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize this, and I have gotten some slack for saying this in the past, but Mexican people could be racist. They don't like black people.
Everybody can be racist, bro.
Yeah, I mean, saying
everybody can be racist.
Growing up in the barrio is not good for a brother. Let me say it like that,
bro. I'm telling you, bro. Sometimes that shit is you want to go the other way. You want to go the long way when you trying to get somewhere. If the wrong people in front of you, type shit. Like if you care about your life, especially if you got a smart fucking mouth. And some people are asking you where you from or where you going, and you say some smart shit. That's how you get your ass beat up or killed, bro. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. Just like talking too much. Yeah. And so I was a master in like de-escalation because what I didn't want to do is like I didn't like fighting, bro. I would fight if I had to, but I didn't like fighting, bro. I was not a kid who was like the first one to jump up for a fight. Yeah. Like fighting was like my last resort. Yeah. If I gotta do that, I'm gonna fucking punish somebody. But like but I just wasn't that kind of person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I didn't want to hurt anybody. And so like because of that, I learned how to have a slick mouth, bro, and like talk my shit for real, and like also be able to think like critically and logically, and like figure out how to get in and out of situations. And so I ended up personally being cool with a lot of folks, bro, and that's when I realized that like my brother right here is hated by the Mexicans, bro, but I don't have that problem. Like he got that problem, bro, because I don't know if it's because I got respect or like it's because
you know how to use your mouth.
I knew how to use my mouth, but it's not even like I was like kissing ass for none of that shit. It was more so I was just like likable.
The gift of gab.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like a little bit of charisma, you know, sprinkled on top. And like I felt like it was a gift. I didn't realize it was a gift back then. I know that it's a gift now. A gift, yeah. You know, but I like you know, and so there's just a lot of situations where.
Tell me about one.
Oh man. What we talking about in Miraloma?
Yeah, tell me about a situation where you had to use your words to get you out of a sticky situation.
Words out of a situation. Yeah. Oh, many times, bro. One time, a little kid on the block. He was my age, but he was a little kid back then. But he swiped my homie, something for my homie, like some money or some shit for my homie. And so I went and like I was like kind of playing both sides. And I went to talk to him, and he was like, "Yo, bro, I just got this new iPad." Cause he iPod. He bought the iPod with my homie's money type shit. I know I don't know he did, but I know he did by the way he said he just bought a new iPod, little boy. So I took his shit and took off, bro. I took his shit, and then all his older brothers, all his cousins,
like
all that, bro. They came to my house. I snatched it out of his hands and I just booked it. And we were all in the same like complex. We lived it. He knew where I live. I knew where he lived. Like they knew, well, this is dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like they pulled up to my crib, probably 20 Mexican homies deep, bro.
Oh shit!
To my crib, banging on my door. I'm hiding in my room and shit.
Oh
it's
shit!
Older dudes. Like at this point, it's like folks like damn near my age and
grown
like younger,
folks,
grown folks. Like, give me my little brother's shit back. Get your ass out here. And so I like played the I'm not home card. It was just me and my sister at the crib, and she like whatever she said to like make them go away. Yeah. And then I ended up meeting back up with them later that night. I had some homies with me. They had all their homies, and like I ended up exchanging the shit back. I gave them their shit back. And then explain like why I did it. Like, bro, your little homie took my homie shit, bro. And like, in the day I went over there and like, nigga, it's like revenge. But I'm not gonna put my family in jeopardy. Like, y'all came to my door. My mom, when she found out about that shit, was mad, bro.
I bet.
Like, you don't bring that bullshit to your fucking house, bro. And I know that now.
Yeah.
You don't bring that shit to your house.
Yeah, you should.
Where you lay, bro. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. No matter, and at the end of the day, that shit wasn't my situation at all. But I included myself. For what? I'm just jumping into somebody else's battle because I felt like I had to protect my people. I still got a little bit of that in me though. Yeah. And like
it's just a way.
As time went on. But that's like a time where I like use my words to not get myself beat the fuck up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, here's your shit back.
By folks who had terrible intentions.
Oh, I'm
They didn't give a fuck. They probably would have pulled my sister up and did some crazy shit to her. Like thinking back on it now, like I put my family in jeopardy just on that little shit.
You could definitely feel those vibes when something bad's gonna happen,
bro. For sure, yeah, for sure. So there's a lot of those little moments from playing basketball on the court, like dealing with different personalities and different people and I would see people fight all the time, but I just wasn't the person who was. Nobody wanted to fight me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like that. I mean,
he was just cool.
Yeah, sometimes we got in some scraps at school. There were some race wars and shit, and like I was cool with homies, and I was punching on Mexican homies that I actually was cool with, bro, because they were terrorizing my people.
Yeah.
And it sucked, bro.
Yeah,
it sucked being in that position. Yeah. And so I lived in Mariloma, Corona until 9th grade. 9th grade was the last time I lived in California. I moved to Colorado in 10th grade. And life was fucking different, bro.
It's different here, right?
I had the white people and the Mexican homies holding doors open for me, asking me how I'm doing, smiling at me, telling me I look nice, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Gang wars to...
Bro, white people locking their doors when you walk by to like being in Colorado. I mean, there's hella racism here too, but like it wasn't like how it was back there. I felt like safe for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Like actually safe.
Yeah.
Like I could be on my phone outside the bus stop if I wanted to and put my head down and nothing would happen to me.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, and like
here.
And then I see people here and like how they act sometimes. And I was like, I would always question the legitimacy of like someone's gangster or like how hood could you really be living in Southeast Aurora? I told you, I ended up going to CT, this school right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went to CT. And so like me being a kid from California at this school, that's like a high performing school that we ended up lying and get into at first because my cousin went there. So we used someone else's address because my dad didn't want me going to the school in Aurora because he already knew.
Yeah, it's a lot of hooligans.
Like you fuck around and go there. You ain't no telling, bro.
There's goons everywhere, bro.
Bro, there's goons everywhere. And I learned that shit quick, bro. It doesn't matter where the fuck you are. Yeah. State, country, place. Everybody got their slums, bro. Everybody got their hoods. And there's always people who are in poverty. There's always people who are going to be rich. There's people who are struggling. No matter where you go.
Yeah, you can get murked anywhere, bro. It's all about how you present it.
Bro, you can get murked, robbed, slumped anywhere.
Anywhere. Anywhere. It's what you make. It's the path and the places and the stuff you put around yourself.
Yeah. And I know we're having a long ass conversation. My bad, bro. I know it's...
No, you're good. This is a podcast.
For sure.
This is a podcast.
It's
great.
But yeah.
No, you're good, bro. Yeah. Oh, check this out. You want to see a picture of my dad?
Yeah, bro. Please.
This is me. Oh, damn it. You know what? I put my phone down and went away. Ain't that about a bitch?
Damn.
But anyways, so when you moved to Denver and you start going to school here, were you like, all right, Denver's way more calm? Did you say, or were you was it hard to adjust?
I was surprised when I came here because when I had came to Colorado before, my grandmother lives here. So my dad is from here. My biological, my adopted dad, he's from here.
Yeah.
And so his mom's is from here. And so we had come to visit when we were little. And like we had driven back and forth, you know, like to Denver. But I was a kid, I didn't really understand until a couple years before we moved. It's funny, I went to like a camp. I was like like 10 or 11 years old when me and my brother went to a camp out in like the mountains with other kids. So there was like other kids and we were like horseback riding, fishing, like doing that kind of shit.
From freaking fighting race wars to horseback.
Swear to God. And I'm like out here like, what the fuck? Where are we, bro? And so when they told me we were going to move to Denver, I was distraught. Like, I don't want to be a fucking cowboy, bro. No, please, no. But I came here and there was brothers here, there's black people here, there's Mexicans here, there's Asians here. It's a fucking it's a melting pot here, bro.
Oh yeah, it's very diverse.
It's crazy. Way more diverse than I thought it was ever gonna be. And so I was surprised. It wasn't like I was like, okay, cool.
I like Denver.
So naturally I gravitated towards my people. You know, I gravitated towards the melanated folks. And I ended up playing sports. I played football at CT. I ran track. As well, and that shit kept me out of a lot of trouble, even though I did get into some shit. Because you kicking around the you know the fast, strong kids, talented kids, but they all jockish. You know, they all got their own backgrounds, and you end up going to their cribs or you at the parties with them. Y'all doing different type of shit. Like I don't know, bro. I hate feeling like I'm snitching on myself sometimes.
You're just telling your story, bro.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, tap the screen. It blacked out.
1960. That's me in the 60s.
Wow.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Bro.
That's the picture I saw she sent me.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Yo, this is weird.
Yo, that's crazy. That's beautiful though, bro. Truly,
yeah, but,
truly.
So when you were here, what did you do on the track? You ain't telling on yourself. I want to know.
You said what I do?
Would you say you got in trouble messing with the jocks and stuff?
I mean, bro, so much shit, bro. Like different shit from like, you know.
Was y'all partying and shit?
Definitely partying, definitely getting drunk, getting MIPs, getting in fights, little brawls at parties.
It's pretty much being a kid though,
just
bro.
Being a kid, bro.
Yeah, growing up.
You know?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, different things where Twitter had just really came out when I was in high school type shit. And so like that shit connected us, my school, to all the schools in the district, right? And so like all the kids were able to like talk to each other and communicate through this new app. And it was nuts, bro, because now we weren't just going to our parties. We were going to those parties, and they was coming to our parties, and we was all sliding up to the mountains, going to Castle Rock parties and going to Highlands Ranch parties, and the shit was wild, bro. To be honest, and a lot of shit happened, you know, just like a lot of drugs. I personally was not drinking or smoking until my junior year of high school. So that was cool, you know. I felt like I was like able to like have fun and like you know, do whatever I was doing.
Did you graduate?
Without high school? Yeah, I graduated high school. So like, I was drinking, smoking, but I was still running track. Senior year, we went to state in football. We lost that game. We played against Christian McCaffrey in Valor.
Oh, okay.
Later that year, we won state in track. I won in multiple events, the 4x2, the 4x4. I placed third in the state in long jump. And then the open 400. Yeah. And then I ended up getting a scholarship to Hastings College.
Oh, for track?
For track.
Damn, you fast move.
Yeah, bro. I got the burners on me, bro. I'm tall and I'm big, bro. But I got the burners, bro.
Yeah.
But I ended up going out there, so that was cool. But in high school, yeah, bro, just a lot of different, like you said, bro. And it's reassuring to hear you be like, bro, this is. And I know that it's normal, like kid shit, but sometimes I'll be feeling like, actually I know it is, and I know it could have been way worse if I didn't have the mindset that I have. Yeah. I know, bro. I know.
When did you stop stealing? When did you learn did you ever just Or are you still stealing?
Nah,
you ain't still stealing,
I'm
are
not
you?
stealing, bro. I'm not stealing. I think I stopped stealing probably like 6-7 years ago.
That's good. Did you just kind of
I'm talking about licks and everything.
Yeah, robbing and all that
Bro,
shit?
we was kicking doors down.
Oh, yeah.
We was kicking doors down. We was stealing from the plug. We was doing all this wild shit from whatever, to get what we wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By any means necessary, because I didn't see it tomorrow. It's funny, obviously I seen Menace to Society, but I watched the Wayans Brothers spinoff when I first seen that shit. When I first fucking seen that shit, bro, don't be a menace while drinking your grape juice in the hood. When I first seen that shit in the opening scene, they were laughing and like making fun of the dude who they sang happy birthday to, his 21st birthday, and they shot and killed him, and his mom was crying and shit, and they're like, it just happens in the hood. When I seen that shit scarred me. I swear to God, bro. I never thought I was gonna live past 21, so I was living every single day like it was my last day.
Damn.
Every day. And I got to 21. I didn't think I was gonna make it to 25.
Yeah.
And like,
I know the feeling.
and now I just want to be an old man.
I feel like, oh man, I'm glad I made it. Sometimes I like want to post back and be like, look how old I am, all y'all motherfuckers. Teachers used to tell me all the time.
You wouldn't live past 21, or you wouldn't
18.
live past 18.
18,
wasn't gonna be nothing.
I grew up I grew up late 80s, 90s. And I'm not saying it was any worse than now, but shootings were very prevalent.
Bro,
very prevalent.
It's hard to compare the two.
Yeah, it's hard to compare because it's like that now too.
The scale of it though.
Yeah.
And like how it really infected shit back then is different now.
I just think that there were less police officers and law enforcement was less equipped to deal with it than they are. Now they got gang units and now it happened. So now that it's happened, they were able to counter and adjust
and respond to it.
Yeah, like I'm not like Chicago. Go to Chicago right now and tell them that there's 12-year-old kids in Chicago right now with 12 bodies. Yep. They got a body for every year they're alive. Yep. And so I can't say that it's not happening now. Yeah. But I can say when I was growing up, it was just more prevalent. Like you would see there's been many times where I would sit on my porch as a kid and I would see like somebody ride a bike by and start shooting. Just start shooting at us. They'll be from another. Like you say, Twitter. When Twitter came out when you were a kid, they all start hanging out. If that shit would have came out when I was a kid, we would have started organizing ways to attack the other cities. Yeah. You say, we would go to parties in other cities. Yeah. When I was growing up, we would go to attack them. Yeah. We're going to go party, but we're going to start shit.
We're going to crash the party.
We're going to go and crash this motherfucker, neighborhoods, like all that shit. So it was just more, it was a lot of violence growing up. And I got way off topic and forgot what I was going to say.
No, it's cool, bro. Another thing I wanted to say, though, it's hard to not filter, for me at this point in my life, to not filter out the things that I did sometimes or was a part of or seen, because I don't want to make it seem like that shit was tight.
Yeah, you don't want to glamorize that life.
So many people do still to this day.
It's very, very much so. Listen to the rap music.
They're going to brag about stealing, scamming your grandma, killing you, beating your ass, doing whatever the fuck, fucking your bitch, whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you get older, you start realizing. I can remember being a kid and saying, they'll be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this is no joke. I would say drug lord, crime boss. And meant it. Like I meant it. Like I wasn't just saying it to be silly. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be a drug lord when I grow up. Oh, I remember what I was gonna tell you. You talk about robbing and shit. Something that I learned in my life growing up, and I just thank God, things didn't turn out a different way. But when you're robbing people, bro, you're like that far away from murder. Yeah. Things can go south. Yeah, so fast, bro.
And it's crazy at the time, especially when I was like older, like, and it got serious, and you was, you taking somebody pack, you taking a rib or something like that. They'll kill you, bro. And you better be ready to kill them if they try to kill you.
It's just so you're just one step away, bro. And when you get older, so when I was a kid, I would think, give a fuck if I go to jail. I would think in my mind, that's my life. Like if I get caught doing whatever I do and I go to prison and I spend 30 years that's what was meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, that's my life. Like, I would
Damn.
think, like, I'm gonna go to jail anyways. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. This is me.
Yeah.
You know.
I knew so many people. Like that, and I thought at the time, because of where I was at and my mindset, what I wanted, the things I was doing, I actually thought for a second that I was better morally than the person who told me that they wanted to join the gang. My homies, when they joined Pyru and tried to get me to get jumped into Pyru,
Yeah.
and I said, "Fuck no, y'all tripping." So you telling me I can't wear blue no more? If I join Pyru, I can't kick it with my cousin no more.
Yeah.
If I join Pyru,
For sure.
y'all tripping. But like, I actually thought for a second that I was better than those people who were selling drugs and who were doing that kind of shit just to turn up just like them.
Just doing the same thing.
But in my older age,
Yeah.
because like when I came back from college, I ended up leaving college in the best shape of my life. You know, but I didn't qualify. I qualified for 4 events in track, but I wasn't eligible to compete because I was fucking off in school.
Yeah.
Taking just enough credits just to get by, and ended up being eligible. And I thought to myself that I was only here to run track, bro. And I realized that I'm here to get a fucking degree. That's what you really in college for. Fuck running around in circles. You're here to get a fucking degree.
Did you finish?
No, I didn't.
Because you was doing all that other shit.
I left. No, not even yet. So I'm out in Nebraska, and like we were selling a little packs here. So I was selling some packs in school and shit like that. But like for the most part, didn't really get that crucial until I came back home, bro. When I came back home, and I was just like, I'm gonna do portrait photography. That's how I kind of got into the game. I was rapping in college, but I wasn't like, I didn't have the resources to take it seriously. So in the meantime, I was gaining my connections by shooting portrait photography, because that was another one of my loves, like just like holding the camera and shooting stuff. And then, but like, I went back home, tried to live with my dad, and he was just like, "What you doing today, blah, blah, blah? You gonna find a job or go to school?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm about to go to this photo shoot, and then I'm going to the studio." And like after a while, it got to the point where he's like, "You can do whatever the fuck you want, but you can't do it in my house. So go on." And so I did, and I'm being more gracious than he was by saying that, you know.
Yeah, no.
But
that's again, something happens to a lot of kids, man. A
yeah,
lot of kids hear that.
and so I got I got the boot, and I left, and then from there I was just in the studio every night, trapping, selling everything I could. But
you weren't taking rapping seriously?
No, I was, and that's how I was paying for rap. That's how any of y'all know me right now, because of the drugs. I wasn't even bragging about that shit back then, but like that's how I paid for any of the shit. The music videos, the studio time. I got my first mixtape album, all that shit done off that money.
Yeah.
I invested in it. I was like, fuck the designer, fuck all that extra shit.
Yeah.
Put me in the studio. Let me get a videographer. Let's get the, we need to go on tour. We need to do this kind of shit. So like I was instantly trying to do that with that money. But there's times where like you get so caught up in the life that I wasn't going to the studio. I was checking my phone every day to make a play. Every day I was trying to make a play. And it got to the point where like niggas were trying to go to the studio, and I'm like, I'm trying to make money.
Yeah.
This music shit ain't paying y'all. So what's paying me is this shit in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do this. I was using pills. I was using coke. I was smoking a lot, drinking a lot, sipping lean and shit, fucking on my body, bro.
Yeah.
Forgetting whole days, whole nights, whole weeks, whole summers.
Damn.
Lost homies to fentanyl overdose.
Oh shit.
And that's when I stopped selling pills for the first time, and then I got back into it. But I stopped selling pills to my homie because he was like on some fiend shit, bro. It was like that's all he wanted to do. He was a dope producer. Didn't even want to link up, make no beats. He just wanted to do drugs, bro. And like I just stopped selling it, bro. And he bought from somebody else. That shit was cut with fat.
So he bought it. You didn't want to sell it to him. He went and bought somewhere else and OD'd.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep, and OD'd. And that's when I put the pills down and shit. And was just like, I need to figure something else out. I'm gonna just sell packs. And I was just on the interstate with it. Just on the interstate. It was my life. It was living on on I-80.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
And then I'm sorry, but like after a while, bro, I stopped doing all that shit. When I got with one of my ex, she hated that I was selling. She hated that I was taking those trips. She thought I was gonna die or be in jail. Yeah. And so I stopped for her.
Well, you know what? So I like I said, I relate to everything you just told me, and like I was when when I didn't care to go to jail, it was one thing. But when you get older, the stakes get higher.
Oh yeah, more to lose.
And you know, I don't know what you have things that are important in your life.
Yeah.
And for myself,
Oh yeah.
I couldn't imagine being away from my family, bro.
Yeah.
Not them feeling like me, wondering about their dad.
Because of something that you did.
Because I want to make some fast money.
Yeah, bro.
Because I want to. One time, and maybe this will help you. You can help me prove this person wrong. When I was a kid, used to have doughboys in the neighborhood. They'll put you on the payroll.
Mm-hmm.
Used to give you packs and ounces and whatever. You serve it. You go back and pay for it. And when I went to jail, when I came out, they just put me right back on the payroll. I started going right back to where I was. Long story short, when I was going to have my first daughter, I decided, remember I told you to start working for my money and started appreciating it a lot more?
Yeah.
So I decided to change my life. And the guy told me, people like you always come back. He's like, you're a hustler. You like money. You're always going to come back. So you go on out and pretend to play house, and I'll be waiting for you to come back. And I've always want to prove his ass wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, people like me, but what people like me also do, and people like you, is we take that same drive and use it for something.
And make a way.
Use it for something positive.
Yep.
So you could be like me, and you could help me prove that guy wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I'm
right, bro.
I'm 42 years old, and when he told me that, I was 24 years old.
Yeah.
And I haven't been arrested. I haven't been in any trouble ever since then. I changed my life, and he's probably dead, or he's still there waiting for me to come back.
Yeah.
So you could be the same, bro.
Should have told him not to hold his breath.
Prove that guy wrong.
Yeah.
Bro,
right,
I believed him.
You're right.
When he told me, I swear, I believed him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, yeah, I'll probably be back.
Yeah.
He's probably right.
But you ain't go.
I just kept working hard.
That's good, bro. I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah.
That's just dope to see.
But I'm telling you so you can use it for yourself.
Yeah. I'm using it, though.
Yeah.
I'm using it, and I think I'm in a place right now, especially in the last 5-6 years, a beautiful place, bro.
Yeah.
Beautiful place, especially like, seeing a lot of homies who, get that fast money, a little insurance scam, little scam that way, scam this way, go take from this person and go do this for the quick bag or pimp out hoes or whatever you doing.
It's not the same.
I see them, but to me, working hard for my money, being able to say that music pays my bills, what I do right now makes me whole, takes care of me, takes care of my family, is dope. I'm getting checks from all the major venues in the state. I'm getting checks from museums. I'm getting checks from libraries. I'm getting checks from all types of shit, bro.
It feels good when you see the checks, though, right?
Yeah, man.
Don't feel the same.
It doesn't matter how much they are either.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro.
It's not the same, right? It's not the same like going and dropping a bag or some shit. It's not the same.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
it's not the same because even though that's fast money, you might be thumbing through hella cash.
Yeah.
How fast did that cash go?
You don't even respect it. You just don't respect it.
You don't miss it, bro. You don't miss it. You don't notice it. You don't
respect that shit.
None of that shit, bro. So I think, and I respect this. I respect hearing your story. And I don't know everything about your situation. I know nothing about your situation, but I know where we're at right now, and I know what you told me.
Yeah.
And like my people live over here too. Like my auntie live over here. I used to live. My dad. They were renting a crib over there, but we were exposed to nice things to understand what was possible when you work hard for something, and you have credit, and you have
all that good stuff,
income, and you have things that really matter for you to go get those things.
So I could tell you, I'll share a little bit about myself, and then I want to
Please.
get a little bit into music. I was raised in South Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, never knew my dad or none of that shit. I was blessed with a stepfather who he always treated me like his son. He loved me. That's why when you say you have adopted parents, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, my stepfather taught me how to walk.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the streets, bro. You know, I had a lot of shit going on in my house. My stepfather loved me, but he used to beat me. I used to get beat, and I never really dealt with that problem or like the issues in my home. Like when I be home, it's always a fight.
Yeah.
Someone's fighting. Someone's
Upset
cheating,
about something.
Someone's upset. Someone's breaking something. I'm not right. You know, my dad would go in there and talk shit to me. You know, like call me names.
Mm-hmm.
It was really rough. So what I would do is I would run away. So maybe start at maybe 11 years old. And I think about my mom, you know, from her perspective, it was probably hard on her, but I would run away at about 11 just to get out of my house because just everything going on. And I would live in the streets. So from most of my teenage years, I grew up sleeping in park benches and fields, house to house. It was a really hard time. I didn't have that cutthroat mentality that you need for the streets, neither when I first, because I was like 11, 12.
Yeah, you was a kid.
And when you're in the streets, which you know, you gotta have your eyes on everybody. You can't be trusting.
Ain't no love.
You got to be tough. And when I first hit the streets at that young age, you know, I would get taken advantage of. I would have people steal my shit. You know, I would be like, oh, I need to get home. So I would try to sell dope. The older homies come on the block and rob me. Gunpoint many times. People would tell me, you could come stay with me. And then when I would go there, they would try to take advantage of me, like make me cut their grass, like slave me, bro. And so I would leave. So I pretty much just grew up living on the streets. I've been super hungry. And I got into the streets just like you. And just to skip all that stuff, I got to when I had my first daughter, like I told you, and I said, I'm done with this shit. And it was probably the hardest, bro. That shit was hard, bro. And I'm not trying to drag on like you said, but I just want to leave this with you. It was the hardest thing I ever did. I would do stuff. For example, I got a job at a pastry shop. It would start at 4 a.m. My shift would start at 4 a.m. And the buses, they didn't start running in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get up at 1:30 a.m., maybe 1 o'clock, and I would walk maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours to work every morning.
Damn.
For $5 an hour, because no one wants to hire a gang-banging convict. So that's what I did, to wash dishes. And I would, when I got done there, I would walk to a Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
And I would work at another shift at Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would walk home, because by the time I would finish my shift, buses didn't run no more. Mm-hmm. So I would have to walk 3 or 4 hours home. I would do stuff like that. I would, there was a time I would pick up, you know, I've talked about this on the show. You know what labor ready is?
You said what, labor ready?
You ever labor ready?
Is it kind of like, what was that place called? It's like a school where they teach you how to, it's
a temp service.
Oh, word. No.
So you go in the morning at 5 a.m. and you wait to see if you can get a job.
Uh-huh.
So I would get up at 3 a.m., go in the morning and see if I can get a job. And it's just hit and miss. And then what I would do when I would miss, because I would live at this time was with my wife, and we lived in hotels, and you pay by the day. So I would do day labor, get my money, and then pay that night for the next night.
Yeah.
And if I didn't get a job, but then I wouldn't have money for the next night.
Yeah.
So I would walk around and get my white voice on, and I'd walk to these doors. If I didn't get a job at Labor Ready, it was like in this nice neighborhood. I would take off, walk. It was kind of in the hood, but if you take off, walk to the side, you could get this nice neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I would take off down the street, and I would knock on the doors, and boop, boop, boop. Hey, I noticed you had 2 or 3 dogs in your backyard, and my name's Chris Rodriguez. I have a Rodriguez Cleaning Services, and what I'm doing today is I'm going around the neighborhood, and for $5, I will clean up all the feces and stuff in your backyard, and I'll clean up all the animal mess, and I'll rake it up, and I'll clean it all nice, and I'll haul it off for you for $5. And I would do that, and just the whole house, just one house out looking. If I see a dog, I'm going to knock.
Yeah.
And I would do that for about 12 hours. And when I would make about $67, I was able to buy a McDonald's for my wife and pay for the hotel. Then I would stop, and I would go home and lie to my wife. We go to the hotel. She'll say, like, who wants to tell your wife I was picking up shit all day? So I would say, I was working on drywall today, whatever.
Yeah.
And I would go down, and I would pay for the hotel. And bro, I would go days without eating. I would have enough money left over to buy McDonald's for my wife. So I'd buy her some McDonald's and maybe some ramen noodles and stuff. And I would give that to her. She would eat that, and I wouldn't eat. But that's just a little bit about my background, because people see me now, and they see my cars and my house, and I've been judged. I've had guys tell me, I don't know what it's like.
Don't you? Ain't that shit weird, bro?
Yeah.
I mentioned the fact that my dad ended up renting a house over by Grandview. So him and my stepmom got in a situation where they put their money together and rented a house so that her kids and us, we could, live in a nice house, right? But I have kids, and like I would love to bring people to my house.
Yeah,
I love it, because I just wanted people to feel like, I don't know, you don't have to worry about what's going on in your house. Come over here and play foosball or some shit. Come over here and play ping pong or some shit.
Yeah.
And like, and this is like senior year, like all my life, like, I'm not gonna act like we didn't have what we needed. We had what we needed. I just didn't get what I wanted, you know? But I had kids like try to tell me like, you don't know what it's like or whatever, because I've been in your house and you were in a mansion, bro. And like, it's funny because it's like, these houses are big. But like, to call the shit a mansion,
it ain't no
first
mansion.
of all, bro, you ain't never been to a mansion.
Yeah, you ain't seen no mansion.
You ain't seen a mansion. Go on Google and Google mansion. It's just not a mansion, it's a house.
This is a house. It's not a mansion.
Okay. And so like, but like you,
but I feel
like they would tease me like that, like, oh bro, you look, go back to your mansion or whatever, blah blah blah. You don't know shit about this, blah blah blah. Like, it's too real for you, or blah blah blah.
Here you are, grew up in a foster home, gang banging in Cali. Like,
y'all don't know shit. And I wasn't gang banging in Cali. Luckily, I wasn't gang banging.
All right, right back at you from our break. Had to take a minute to switch up some equipment real quick. So you do a ton of music, a ton of videos, always pushing. You want to talk about your music a little bit?
Yeah, bro. I mean, did you have any specific questions about the music?
No,
necessarily.
No, hell. I'm not an interviewer. I suck at that.
Nah, you good. I first off, I started making music in high school. We was at the lunch tables. I remember we used to have freestyle Fridays. And, and we used
beating
to,
on the table or what?
One of the homies used to be beating on the table with the pen and shit, doing the crazy little the beats. And we have a couple rappers who would just get around and just start freestyling, bro, having fun with it. And it was cool. And at first I was shy. I didn't want to like get in there and like say something stupid or like, not be able to like go for real. But like eventually I started just going every time. I couldn't wait for Freestyle Fridays. It used to be like a thing at our school. And that was cool. That's kind of how I first got into it. And then I linked up with one of my homies. There was this app back in the day called the IMT Paint app, and it was like you get to just fuck around with auto tune and shit. And I was singing full songs on that app, but you couldn't stop and like re-record or none of that. You have to record a full song in one take, literally. So if you fuck up, you gotta
start over
and go back. So that's the first time I actually wrote a song, because I knew that if I was freestyling, I wouldn't remember any of this shit. So I wrote the song, and I record on there, I export it, I put it on my iPod, and then I bring it to school and show people. And some people were like, bro, that shit is ass. Take that shit back home. Stick to fucking running tracks. Some people be like, bro, that shit is actually crazy. I like see potential in this shit. Like, you should keep trying.
Yeah.
And those people who helped me realize that that's something that I could, like, at least play around with a little bit more. Then I went to college, but like the summer before I went to college, I was sitting, we were hotboxing the whip. I was with a couple homies, we were freestyling, and one of the homies was like, bro, you need to record yourself, bro, for real. Like, stop playing games. Like, really record yourself, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm about to go to fucking Nebraska. Like, how am I gonna record myself? I don't know no damn studio out there. What you talking about? But when I was in college, I ended up being a journalism major at first, and then I was in the media arts department doing photography, little broadcast stuff. I love journalism. I love talking. I love writing always. So I wanted to like tell other people's stories, tell my story. I ended up hating that shit, but the moral of the story of that is there was a building called the Gray Center, and in that Gray Center there was like different studios. Like, it wasn't necessarily like recording, like where you can record music, but it was like radio studios. So I was on the computer, and I used a radio mic, and I was recording songs off Adobe Audition, because that was the software that they were using to do, like, there were different radio shows. And so I was in there recording off of YouTube beats, and then one day, like in the studio next door, I heard somebody playing beats, and I was like, what the fuck? And I like walk out, go to the next studio, and I'm just like listening for a second, and I don't go in there, I don't interrupt him. I wait for him to come out, and I'm like, bro, you in there, like, these are your beats, you just listen to beats, or you freestyling? He's like, no, I'm producing. These are your beats, bro? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, we got a link. So I linked up with bro. I made my first mixtape at Hastings.
He helped you?
He helped me with my first mixtape, yeah. He was a couple years older than me. He was on the football team, I was on the track team. And now bro ended up being like my brother for real. I actually just seen him the other day. Bro performed at Red Rocks a couple weeks ago. And so like I don't know, just full circle shit like this. That's the type of shit we was talking about back in the day.
So y'all was in Nebraska, and now you're here in Denver too.
Yeah, two brothers in Nebraska.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And he happened to live his parents happened to live 5 minutes away from where my parents lived in Colorado.
Wow.
Even though we were out in Hastings.
Yeah, but y'all met in Nebraska.
We met in Nebraska.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's how it kind of started. And then there's this dude named Nate Maloli. He goes by Skate now, so white boy. He actually signed a Taylor Gang, Wiz Khalifa and him, but we started rapping together at Hastings. And ended up doing shows there. I got my first show, performing in front of the school and a couple other schools. It was like a big concert. Yeah. It was cool. Looking back on it now, like, I was just jumping around out of breath, drunk, like, faded, just happy to be there.
Performing's a talent, though,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
can't
it
just
is.
run out there.
You can't just get up there and just think you got to figure it out, especially if you ain't rehearsed, you don't know your words and shit. Like, it's crazy. But like, it was just cool, bro, to experience that and be able to express myself and have something that was mine. So my decision to leave college, because it was my decision, I could have stayed. But I was done with it, because the main thing was, one, I was a little stubborn. Yeah, I thought that, I was only there to run track, but music was mine. It was like the only thing that I ever did that was actually mine. I ran track because of my dad. I wanted to be in the Olympics. That was my dream because of him. I wanted to be a good scholar. I wanted to get a good job because my mom wanted that for me. Like, and like, she didn't want me to be in the street. She didn't want me doing other things. So I wanted to like make her proud and go get a good job or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. And so like, but those things were not about me. Those things were about them. And so like, having music, like,
that's what you wanted.
Being artistic was something that I wanted. And I didn't even know I could explore that, because I didn't have permission to do that abstract shit. Like, my parents are very like straight line, like logical, go get a job. Like, you hear the term starving artist, that shit like terrified them. Be like, you're not gonna be no starving artist. Like you gonna be a worker type
I want
shit.
the best for you though. That's all.
Only wanted the best for me, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. And they didn't understand this concept of doing this music rapping shit, bro. Like, what are you saying? You're giving up a scholarship to go rap? Are you fucking insane? What's wrong with you?
Is that what they told you, or did you just do it?
I just did that, and that's, I don't know if conversations happen like word for word like that, but like that was the energy.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
But then I ended up leaving. I came back home. Like I said, I was like, at my dad's for a little bit. Then I kicked out, sleeping in my car, sleeping on different couches, couch hopping, jumping around, just trying to find a way. They had no money. Ended up working little jobs, Buffalo Wild Wings and shit, Restaurant Depot. I worked so many jobs, bro, just trying to make money, just trying to pay for this music shit. And I was going to studios. I'm super big on quality. Like super big on quality. I got to be at a good studio. I got it. My videos got to be shot by a dope videographer.
You got some nice videos.
I appreciate you, bro, for real. Yeah. Like I care like a lot about that. And so like I wanted to put myself in a situation where I can afford that, and I couldn't. So I was trapping, and we was getting shit done. You know, we was selling packs. Yup. Came back from the interstate with a whole bunch of banditos, and your boy was just buying studio sessions, shopping music videos. I bought my first car off trap money. My first car that I bought with cash was from trapping, and like it made me feel good, even though it was like I did it that way. It felt fucking good to be able to say that I bought my shit. I bought my first gold chain. Like I feel like even though it's just a little shit, that's just like material shit. It just felt good, and then being able to like pull up to the studio and not have to like ask to get a ride or like nothing like that. Like I was like becoming independent and like being able to figure out things on my own. And then the music thing, 2017 just kind of took off for me, bro. When I shot my first music video, it wasn't even my first music video. It was my first high quality music video, 4K video, called Hit Stick. And that shit changed the game for the boy. Just like in the city, like, bro, everyone just kind of figured out who I was. They thought I was like super talented. They want to work with me, but I realized it's because I wasn't just dropping songs for them to listen to on SoundCloud. I put out a project and I put out a music video, and it gave people the chance to actually see who was behind those lyrics, see who was actually behind those songs. And when they got to see me, they're like, damn. First of all, like my voice is like, I don't have the deepest voice. I'm a big dude. I got a voice that's kind of like in the higher male register. And so like when you hear my songs, you don't picture seeing me, especially a tall dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like intriguing already. And so like I was like, okay, that's my lane. I need to do something where people can see me. I need to drop videos. And so the video route was cool, bro. Just helped me get like a lot of exposure. I linked up with different videographers, worked out deals. They did package videos for me. I developed great relationships. That led me into, we were always throwing parties back in the day. Like that was the thing, bro. We throwing parties. And that's kind of how I got like my name out there, even outside of music, just as a person, just as somebody who can curate a good party. Me and the homies would be sitting around. When Snapchat was out, first came out, and we'd be like, what y'all want to do today? Let's throw a party. Well, whose house we gonna throw it at? We found out whose house we gonna throw it at. We sending out mass invites that day for a party in 3 hours. Had that shit jumping. And that's when we realized the marketing. And we didn't realize it was marketing back then.
Yeah, it's marketing.
But like that was crazy marketing. 3, 4, 5 dudes got together, marketed to all the dudes, all the girls we knew who was somebody that we wanted to be at a party with, and got shit jumping. And so that translated into like doing fashion shows when the homies got the brand. So I'm rocking Last One's Left, and so a couple of my brothers started this brand.
Dope shirt.
I appreciate you. Yeah. Couple of the homies started this brand, and I've always been like, like the artist face of the brand. And so like we was always just rocking, bro, doing pool parties, doing fashion shows, doing different events, little mansion parties. And like I fell in love with the finer things. Like there was dudes who was trying to, there was like this trap house back in the day that we used to be at, that it was like a broke down house that had no like walls. Like when you walk in, it's just a foundation. It's just like in the house, we would trap out of that house.
Yeah, I know.
We would trap out of that house. Yeah. But like, I traded in the trap house for the mansions because that's what I wanted to be around. I felt like if I was around people who own businesses, if I was around people who had that kind of money, it would rub off on me. Like even if it wasn't like the immediate success, because that shit don't just rub off on you. It's got to be in you. But like it can influence you and like help you understand that there's more to life than what you knew or what you thought you knew. You know what I'm saying? So I fell in love with the finer things too. And I'm a Taurus, so I'm a little materialistic. I can't help it. I guess it's just my nature. It's in the stars and shit.
It's nothing wrong with liking fine things. Nothing wrong with liking those things.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
It's about how you get them.
Yeah, man. For sure. And the music was cool, man. And it led me to become like one of the only artist promoters in the city, promoting a top nightclub back in the day. It was Onyx nightclub after Epernay. I don't know how long you've been here.
About 7 years.
Okay. So it was around that time, probably when you came here. But I felt like I was on top of the world, bro. I was making thousands of dollars and just, I didn't have to work. I went to the club to drink and party and invite girls to a section and get the homies, the drug dealing homies to pay for bottles. One night in a week, and I was making more than my siblings and parents and shit at work.
From promoting the party?
From just promoting the club.
Damn.
And shit like that. And like,
that opened your eyes, I bet.
It opened my eyes, bro, to so much shit. I met so many different people, interacted. We were throwing different parties. We were like the one nightclub where all the artists came, the first nightclub that Chris Brown ever came to in Colorado. He came and pulled up on us. We pulled up. We got Gucci Mane. We got literally all these rappers, bro, like dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of rappers to the city. I had different connections, and that's like I was in the music game, but I was also working the back end. So yes, I was making my music, dropping my music, performing my music in the club.
But you're also promoting.
But I was also promoting. I was marketing. I was helping with the talent buying and the talent discovery aspect of it, helping make connections and connect the dots. And I was just moving fast. I didn't realize at the time that that's what all that shit was.
Yeah. All that was helping your music.
All of that shit was helping the music. We go in the club. At a certain point, it didn't matter what club we went into in the city. When they seen us, when they seen the chain, they seen the shirt, they seen the brand, they be like, "Last one's left in the building," and that shit just like felt good because we felt like we did something outside of like the norm what everybody else is doing. Like we really like locked in on like the music, on the fashion, on the promoting, on the parties, on the marketing, and like really got to see success that way, you know? And it was like really cool, bro. Like really, really, really cool to like see what was possible and like to see what could happen when you move with a squad, with a little, and you move militant and you move disciplined, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
So everybody who's listening maybe there's some person on TikTok or something that hasn't seen you before, what song would you have them look up?
Damn song.
Because you have a lot of them.
I have a lot of songs. I think my most introspective album, like if you really, really, really want to know about me, The Color Blue. It's an album I dropped last year in 2023. It won a lot of awards, but besides all that bullshit, it's a great album. It's like I'm most confident about that piece of work. And so I would just listen to the album from top to bottom. The first song is called Lost Souls. Beautiful song. It's just real. That album was me letting go of misogyny, letting go of glorifying bullshit, letting go of like just a lot of shit that we think in our culture is cool and macho and like what we need to be doing as men and shit like that, which is not tight at all. Yeah. And like that was me like letting go of that, talking about love, talking about my partner, my love for my partner, and like all that shit. So like The Color Blue is definitely a project I would invite people to go listen to. But I just dropped an EP called Extended Playlist Volume 1, and it's cool. Got a little bit of everything. Got some slappers on there.
And it's out right now?
Yeah, I just dropped it last week.
Get on that.
And so it's fire. So off that record, Centerfold, I just dropped the music video to Centerfold, and that one is going crazy right now. But yeah, bro, it's hard because like I make music off of mood. I have different styles. I sing sometimes. I rap hardcore sometimes. I rap on some introspective shit sometimes. I rap and sing sometimes. I collaborate with a lot of people. I make different styles of music based on different moods. So there might be a song that you really like off the project and another song that you don't really care for, you know, because maybe that song isn't where you're at mentally or whatever. But the song where I'm talking about really overcoming something and really getting on that hustle music, like, you know, that we on that hustle time, we really on that grind time, that might be a song for you. Or like maybe some of the trap shit or like the hype shit, the West Coast shit might be on some shit for you, you know. So I feel like I recommend people listen to projects versus singles, because you might like or you might not like the single. Yeah. But with a project, you're going to find something that you like on that project. There's variety on there.
Yeah.
And I let myself feel all of that. I don't just box myself in, bro. Like I allow myself to feel all the emotions and put that shit into my music.
Yeah. Have you felt yourself evolve over the years?
Oh yeah,
to get there,
especially in the last 5 years, or coming up on 5 years since I met my partner.
to being yourself.
Yeah, but just being myself, but also feeling like it's okay to do things in a right way or the noble way, you know? Because at times it feels like that shit is thankless.
Yeah.
Like we ain't gonna get further than where we at right now. Trying to take a good path, trying to do things the right way, trying to get legal money, or trying to, you know, do right by people. What do you mean? Do for others? Volunteer? Like, what are you saying? What you mean? But it's like, nah, bro. That kind of work pays you back tenfold.
Yeah. So let me tell you. That reminds me of what my brother told me. You could look this up. He was a fugitive for 11 years. Mm-hmm. He was a doughboy. Long story short, he went on the run, and he got caught after 11 years. And he said that what happened was he was at his bunk one day waiting. He was in jail, about to serve all this time. Life beat him up, and like he said, you know what? He said, because he's like, whatever your God is, whether you're Christian, Muslim, whatever your God is, he said, I talked to mine, and he said, mine was Jesus. And he said, I said, Jesus, if you let me out of here, I will change my life, and I will be a good person. He said, I promise you, let me prove to you that I could be a good person, that I will help other people, and I would be a positive role in this world. He said, just please let me show you. Don't let me go out like this. The next day, he got papers saying that all the evidence and the law enforcement officers in his case were gone or retired, and all charges were dropped. Wow. The next day, bro. And he walked out of jail free man. Wow. And he said he knew he had to prove it. So now he's like, before he was the type of person that, like, you ever been here in Colorado and you're like in the line somewhere, people will be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, start a conversation with you. No shit, my brother would tell you, shut the fuck up. That's the type of person he was. Like, if you're like, hey, how you doing? He'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, no joke. And he's like, now, if someone tells him that, he'll be like, oh, I'm fine. And he'll ask him, how are you doing? And he said he just changed. He helps people. He owns a business. He's always helping people and doing stuff for others. And he went from sitting in jail, about to serve 30 years on a fugitive job, to he owns his own business. He owns a tattoo shop, and he makes $300,000 a year. Wow. All from that day.
That should give me chills, bro.
That's crazy.
Because that's intention, bro.
Yeah.
That's intention. Yeah. And guaranteed, if he was just saying that shit just to tell God what God wanted to hear, and something happened and he came out and was like, I don't give a fuck about that, I'm going right back. He would have been right back. Would have been right back.
Yeah. He said he meant it. He said he was at his bunk. Yeah. He said, you can go look at it, it's on my TikTok. Yeah. He said he meant it with he just meant it. He's like, I will be a better person. Free the next day. Bro. Isn't that weird? He's like, he said it could be a coincidence, but he finds it as divine intervention. Those
are the kind of stories I like hearing, bro, because I think even though that's not going to happen for everybody who prays to God to get out of jail.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. But it's a testament of what God will make you mean, like how God will make you mean something.
Yeah. Well, it just reminded me of you and how you were saying how you these last years have you kind of fit you a little bit. Yeah. You know, maybe with not the faith, but whatever, like he said, whatever faith or whatever you believe. Yeah. You can kind of take it to yourself, you know.
Most deaf, man. And I've I don't know, man. I have these aspirations of being like a great artist executive in the music industry.
Well, I could tell you this: if you're good to people, you send out good vibes, they'll return it. You know, and sometimes it feels like you could be good to people and everybody just shits on you.
Yeah, or takes advantage of you.
Takes advantage of you. So you just gotta know who's deserving. Keep your circle small. So, but what I wanted to ask you now is, we got a pretty good feel for you. What's your message to the world? if it's, you know, I'm not. This isn't the hugest platform, but we are gonna be the hugest platform, and there's gonna be thousands of people to see this and hear what you have to say. So, what's your message to the world? What do you got to say to them? Say it in the camera.
My one message to the world. I'm sure this will change as I get older, get wiser, get more experienced in what I'm doing and how I'm living. But right now, as cliche as this shit might sound, you only get one life. And by that I mean every single decision matters. Once you make a decision, the timeline on that other decision you could have made is gone. You don't get to go back. Move with intention every day. You know what I'm saying? Fear is an instinct we have to protect ourselves, but beyond that, it doesn't help you. Don't move with fear. Don't move with fear. Move with intention. You know, move with purpose and strive for that kind of shit. You know, because material things, they come and go. Money come and goes. Success comes and it goes. But if you got the right intentions, if you got integrity, whatever you want to do, life will make you mean that shit. But whatever you want to do, you can go get it. But you got to mean that shit. Yeah, I think that's what I'd say.
Yeah, word. You right.
Yeah.
Said you should. You made me think. You should live life setting the foundation for your legacy.
Yeah. I love that you said that, bro. Legacy. Yeah. Legacy is something I didn't even realize I would ever even potentially even have, bro. Yeah. I was thinking about today and like eating tonight, you know. And
your
like,
life is setting the foundation for it.
Everything is, bro. And like everything is like, you know, invest in yourself too. That's another thing I would say. Invest in yourself because you're like a stock. And one day you might feel like you're not worth shit. You should never feel like that. Actually, you should actually look at yourself like you the most popping shit out. Like you gonna be worth it all one day. But today it might look like to others that you're not worth shit. But keep investing in yourself. Keep investing in yourself. Bitcoin was only $5,000 in 2008 or some shit like that. In 2010, it's worth motherfucking
it's 40,000.
40,000, and it's gonna be worth millions one day.
Went all the way up to 67,000 at one point.
But I just had to say, like, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, do the quiet work, do the thankless work, the shit that no one pats you on the back for, or tells you good job for, or comments on, or likes. Like, put in that work and do for others, serve people, you know?
Yeah, it's the work that nobody sees that matters the most.
Bro, truly. It doesn't feel like it at times.
Yeah, get your ass out of bed and get it.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Bro, it was nice talking to you.
Bro, it was great talking to you, bro. I'm glad I did this, bro.
I kind of see myself in you when I was your age. And you just got to remember to keep your blinders on, keep your head up, and keep pressing forward.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be hitting you up in a couple of years to borrow 100 racks.
Hey, come on, bro.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, bro. I'm really invested though in seeing how I can benefit the platform too, besides being on it. And like,
for sure,
there's people I know that I can connect you to, or if there's,
I'm interested to talk to anybody with the open and great story. It doesn't matter, music, whatever. Yeah, anybody with a great story who they can inspire or relate to others. That's who this is for, and I don't care how many followers or whatever they have. It's just good stories.
Yeah, bro.
Good conversations. I like talking to people.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, man. I like meaningful conversations.
For sure.
I have so many surface level conversations, bro. Just on some quick shit. Let me show you something. I'm sure, like, it gets bad, bro. Like, it gets really bad. Like, truly. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see my phone?
Yeah. Text messages.
These are all just in the last fucking couple days, bro. I have so many, and all these conversations aren't meaningless. You know, see, you know.
I know.
But it's like I just love the opportunity to just take a second, be present, and reflect on things, and have a meaningful conversation with somebody who understands, especially somebody with wisdom, bro, who has lived life.
I hope I can't say, I could say, you ever heard that old saying, do as I say, not as I do?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. But I really enjoy talking to you.
Likewise, bro.
And
real.
I hope everybody tunes in and takes something away from your story.
Yeah, man. I just aspire to be the voice. I think I never said this earlier, but that's why I make music, is to be heard. I know I'm like a big ass dude. You can't really miss me, but like more than being seen, I want to be heard, bro. I want someone to hear something, anything that I say one day and be like, fuck, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Cool. Is this possible for me too? I can go do that too. Yeah. You can't be me. Y'all ain't gonna be me. And I ain't gonna be you. I ain't trying to be you. I'm trying to be me. Yeah. But I hope to inspire. I hope to let people know that they can go make a way. Their way. Whatever that is. Yeah. You know?
Well, I don't want me to drag on, but you made me think of something. To where you said, you want someone to hear you and feel like that would be me. Like,
yeah.
So there's a lot of artists out there, and the debate of who's the best rapper is always up there. But I think there's different things. Like, and I'm not saying he's the best rapper, but I'll use him as an example because he's my favorite rapper, Tupac.
Hey.
Tupac, and like I said, there's other people you could use this for, but I'm going to use him. The reason Tupac was the best rapper, and I don't think that he was the best because Twister's probably a better rapper than Tupac, right? Twister, for the way they spit. Mm-hmm. The reason Tupac ranks up there for myself is because when I hear him, I think, damn, I did that. Mm-hmm. Or I think, damn, that's how I felt. Mm-hmm. You know, there's many songs that I hear from him that he embraces exactly how I felt inside. Yeah. So what I would say to you is, if you really want to be a good rapper, it's not the wordplay, it's not the punchlines or the versatileness. It's being able to reach inside of somebody and show them how you feel inside.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And what I want to add on that too is like, what I'm learning myself is like, it's not just one feeling. Like, we all have a range of emotions, bro.
That's right.
We get excited, we get depressed, we get sad, we get happy, we are in love, we hate sometimes, we're mad, you know, I don't know, bro. Yeah. Like, and it's okay to feel all those things. All those things are natural emotions. Yeah. I don't want people to confuse sadness with depression. If you're sad, go cry. Go do something about that. Feel that shit. Feel that sadness. Yeah. But then get right back to the other stuff too. Yeah. And when it's time to be happy, be happy. Feel that. Don't be afraid to be excited. Yeah. When you scared, understand. Ask yourself why you scared. Interrogate that kind of shit. Pay attention to it and be present. And I'm talking to myself when I say that.
No, I agree. A good example too of a good example song of that, it would be Dear Mama.
Yeah, bro.
You like Dear Mama?
I love Dear Mama, bro. I love
even
Dear
with
Mama,
your adopted,
bro.
like you hear stuff he says, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
I love Dear Mama, bro. I love it even more now.
Right.
I love it more now. After my wife told me, because I was always with my biological mom, I was always like, I felt the way about her. I felt like, how could she? But she did the hardest fucking job she could have did. She had us. She brought us here.
You're here, bro.
We here, bro.
You're here.
She did her job.
You're here.
Thank you, mama.
Thank you.
Thank you, mama. For real.
Make sure y'all go and check out. I'll put his links below. So you can go follow my boy. Check out his IG. Check out his YouTube. Check out his new what's it called again?
It's a new EP called Extended Playlist Volume 1.
Extended Playlist Volume 1.
Yes, and y'all need to watch this podcast. Not just my shit, but go and tap into these conversations. My brother is cracking people open and shit, and getting the real out of them, and I respect that shit. And y'all should too, man. Get some real conversation, get some real shit in your life. You know,
for sure.
This world is filled with bullshit. Fill it up with some.
He's right. If you want to hear real conversations, with real people where we just sit down. We're not talking about whatever trending topics. There's some retarded trending topics. We're talking about what real life situations, real experiences that you're probably going to relate to. If you sit down and you go through and you watch the clips, I guarantee you're going to find one that almost has an identical situation happen to your life.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the shout out.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out the podcast, episode 27. Excuse me, you're 28.
28.
Let's go, episode 28, and we out.
Let's get it.